Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Making 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 12 of What If Naruto Was Betrayed by Hagoromo. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was Blamed. And it changed him, guys. I post a new episode over on Making. Link will be at the top of the description, so go ahead and enjoy that, guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoyed the video, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, as Yujito was currently by herself. She wasn't really friends with Amoy or Karu, so she didn't really have much to talk to them about, given the fact that they weren't even in the same league, as she was far beyond the skills of a genin, but she was here to show that Kumo ninjas are incredible, and she was supposed to show off, and any battle that she faced off against, she was supposed to beat the person into submission, as the Raikage has trust in her skills that no one here, no genins could best her. As she saw a boy, the Nimi went into a mind overload when she felt the familiar chakra, but that made no sense. How was he even here? As Nibi couldn't believe it, but that couldn't be Naruto or Sasuke, but the power their father made them feel felt so similar, as Yujito was caught spying on him, but he didn't mind one bit as she saw him use that staff of his and also produce sand as well. That was quite strange. As he spoke to her, he was going to be in the exams. She wondered if they were as strong as him. The time passed as the group made their way. As they arrived towards the academy, where Neche tried to, call Naruto a fake just because he possessed a Byakugan and he wasn't a part of their clan. But Naruto didn't really like those eyes, and it was from day one he didn't like those eyes. And Neji holding on to him, he slapped Neji across the face, knocking him away. But before anything could start, Tenten stopped him. They were stopped by Lee as they made their way to the hall, as Sasuke told Lee that Naruto was far stronger than him, as he wanted Lee to annoy Naruto. Sasuke didn't feel like Lee was strong, he just seemed to be a weakling. So yeah, let him get on Naruto's nerves. Lee quickly realized that he was no match, as Naruto electrocuted the boy, forcing Mito to jump in and told him to stop it, as Naruto absorbed the electric current out of his body. As Lee collapsed on the ground, he wasn't badly harmed, but he was electrocuted for a minute or two there, so his body hurt for the moment. With that, they continued on as they met up with Kakashi, as he told them if one of them didn't take place in the tournament, none of them could. So they enter inside as Naruto decided to release its killer intent on these pathetic little weaklings who tried to scare them. So with that, they continued on until they took the first part of the test, which wasn't so hard, seeing that they all knew that they were supposed to cheat. After going through that first part, they made their way as Anko thought that Naruto was just an ordinary kid, but she soon come to realize that he was not. As the second exam was about to begin, as they were about to step foot inside the forest of death, they made their way in there as they quickly got their scroll, as Naruto's found a team with his Byakugan, and they managed to subdue them rather ease. They were walking, a massive gust of wind slammed down in the area. It was too wide for them to evade as they were blown away. When Naruto got to his feet, a giant snake swallowed him, as it brought Naruto a far distance off, as Naruto got pissed and ripped the thing in half, bursting out of its stomach with rage, as he sensed Mito chakra flaring and the Uchihas as well, as he dashed over there to make his way. The other teams in the forest as well were making their way, having no idea what was going on in the moment, as Orochimaru had just bit down to Sasuke's neck, as Mito had tried her best, but Orochimaru was just too far above her league, as the man was astounding for Christ's sake, as he had managed to burn away the layer of skin around his face, though showing his real face underneath. As Sasuke had passed out, Orochimaru was about to tell Mito that Sasuke would seek him for power in the future. But he didn't get the opportunity, as suddenly the world started to turn upside down. He was confused, wondering what was going on, as he realized his head was separated. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? Orochimaru's severed head was floating mid-air. It all happened in just a split second. Orochimaru never met a kid before that could put him in this kind of state. His body had been brutally kicked away, leaving his head just flying in mid-air. But Naruto wasn't done as he twisted his body in mid-air, lashing with a brutal kick that dent the side of Orochimaru's face in. His head was sent sailing and smashed right through a tree, breaking it in and smashing the other one. As Naruto finally landed on his feet, he had put in speed and momentum. As the amount of force that he put in, Orochimaru couldn't even stop that if he tried. As Naruto finally turned towards Mito, who was looking down the unconscious Sasuke. What happened, he said. It's Orochimaru, she said. She looked up at him. Remember when the old man told us about his students, the one that went rogue? Yeah, I figured that much. Are you okay, Naruto asked. Yes, I'm fine, she said. But Sasuke, what did he do to him? Naruto asked. He beat him in the neck, and this strange mark is now on his neck. As Naruto looked down, he had enough knowledge, and after studying the old man and speaking, he learned about cursed seals. He didn't know too much about them, but he could definitely tell that was one. Don't worry, it's gonna be Naruto paused. I'm impressed, a voice said, shocking Naruto as he stepped back. As Naruto jumped down to where Mito was, to see Orochimaru back on his feet, Naruto couldn't believe with his eyes. He couldn't really understand. For the first time, he didn't have a funny comeback. How was this man still alive? He knew that this man was a Sannin, but he took off his head. How are you still standing? Naruto asked. My boy, as powerful as you may be, you're still just a mere child. You have no understanding what the power I possess. But you've piqued my interest. After all, it is never a dull moment when someone manages to sneak up behind you that quickly. For me not even hear a single sound. You must be incredibly fast for your age. But I assure you it won't happen again. Mistakes don't happen twice when it comes to me. Mito, take Sasuke and run. What? I can't leave you here with this monster. Naruto turned towards her and gave her a small smile. Mito, you've always believed in me, right? Yeah? As she looked at her brother, she started to worry. As she literally just saw him took off this guy's head, and he just get up back like it was nothing. She couldn't leave him. I need you to believe in me, like you've always done. Trust me, I'll handle it. Take the Uchi and run. When I'm done, I'll find you. But Mito, just do it, said Naruto. As Mito struggled, as she looked at Sasuke, she realized if she stayed here now, her brother would have to hold back and also protect her as well. Because her body was already aching from the pain that she was feeling from the hits that Orochimaru dealt on her. Despite acting like she was 100%, she was not, as she had tried to save Sasuke and jump in the fray as well, but the man simply swept through her chains and connected several hits over her body. Alright, fine, she said. But you better come back. Promise me. I promise, he said, as he gave her another smile. Now run. Mito picked up Sasuke on her shoulder as she started to run away, glancing back towards her brother. Orochimaru was in front of Naruto in a flash. You're not trying to stop them, said Naruto. Why would I? I've already bestowed on Sasuke my most precious gift. Now for you. You were always an anomaly. I know about you as well. Don't be surprised, Naruto Uzumaki. Always showing to be weak, but on the inside, very powerful, I see. Trying to be the dead last of the class, when you could do extraordinary things that most other members couldn't do. You're a mystery to many people. Well, given that you have this information, I guess that you have a spy in Konoha, said Naruto. I wonder though, who it is. And even if I did, why would I tell you something like that? That would be rather stupid of me. Oh, it doesn't matter. Because once I've dealt with you, I'll find and kill them as well. Dealt with me, Orochimaru said, as he chuckled in an amusing tone. My boy, Just because you happen to get a feat of luck for a split second, don't think that it will. Orochimaru gasped as he looked down to see, what the hell? There was a staff going through his chest. He was confused. He didn't feel anything. He get it now. So this was what the boy used on him. He didn't feel any chakra signature or nothing sneaked up on him. He wondered what the hell is this? He reached towards it, but the moment his finger barely touched it, he was electrocuted as Naruto jumped back. The thing then started to tear his body apart from the inside. His mouth opened wide as a new, fresh Orochimaru slipped right out of it. The staff flew back Naruto as he caught it. As Naruto looked at Orochimaru, whoa, you're disgusting. As he looked over at Orochimaru, who was simply smiling back, but on the inside, Orochimaru was surprised. That was twice he had to use that ability. And he wasn't going to do it again for some mere brat. He was a Sanin. You know, I heard about you. The famous Orochimaru, king of pedophiles, said Naruto. Orochimaru eyed twitched the slightest. I wonder, what did you want with poor little Sasuke? You know that he's too young, right? I mean, he's just a kid. You're a full-grown man. Well, I take it you go after them young. That is your whole character and all. But he's still just a poor child. Can't you wait until he's a bit older for him to at least have a fighting chance? I mean, just forcefully taking him like that. That's quite wrong of you, and disgusting as well. You seem to imply that I like little boys, Orochimaru said. Well, you said it, not I, said Naruto. Those exact words were not what I said. But that was the ordeal. So you heard about the rumors as well. Orochimaru simply chuckled. Well, you're not saying no, said Naruto. I will enjoy making you feel pain. What? As Naruto blinked, pressed his back up against a tree. I guess I'm being targeted by a pedophile. Orochimaru had enough as he shot forward, using speeds that Naruto shouldn't be able to follow. He appeared in front of Naruto within a second, his feet raised. Naruto ducked as Orochimaru's feet drilled through the tree, tearing it in half. Orochimaru was surprised at Naruto's speed, as Naruto lashed out his staff right towards his face. Orochimaru tilted his face just back, as snakes shot from his sleeve as they tried to wrap around the staff, but the moment they touched it, their bodies were electrocuted as they fell to the ground. Naruto twisted his body, used the staff to push off the tree, and landed a vicious kick in Orochimaru's face. His body was blown back by the force, but snakes extended from his sleeves and wrapped around 2 trees, shooting him back towards Naruto as his mouth extended wide. 3 snakes came from his mouth, all lashing to bite down Naruto. Naruto slammed his hand on the ground as a tiger made from pure earth came from the earth and lashed out towards Orochimaru. The snakes tried to wrap around it though and squeezed until it exploded into stone. But that was enough distraction Naruto needed as he appeared behind Orochimaru. He twisted his body and brought the staff down to impale right through Orochimaru's skull. But Orochimaru bent his body at abnormal turns, shocking Naruto as his mouth opened again. 3 snakes wrapped around Naruto's body and threw it into the side. Orochimaru then speak through hand sign, wind style, tail palm, he said. A massive torrent tore through the earth and flew towards Naruto, intent on ripping him to pieces. Orochimaru was just testing to see what the boy could actually withstand. But the torrent slammed into Naruto and sent him sailing back into a tree. As he lay there, Orochimaru's face fell, pure disappointment. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Even though you're a bit strong, you're still nothing to fawn over. The Uchiha is still better. Once his time is ready, he will still be greater than you. Orochimaru gasped out when something ripped right through his stomach. He looked down to see the staff right through him once again. As Naruto was in front of him again, Naruto's hand was coated in something strange Orochimaru never seen before, silver chakra. As Naruto sliced off of Orochimaru with his hand like a knife. Orochimaru twisted his head though as his hand came up as Naruto sliced it off. Naruto then twisted his body and lashed out a kick. He hit Orochimaru right in the nose and broke it. Orochimaru staggered back, but Naruto twisted his hand in the staff, rotating Orochimaru's stomach, bursting out a giant hole as he coughed up blood and spit. Naruto then flipped right off the staff and jumping behind Orochimaru yanked it. The staff was pulled out of him violently as Naruto twisted and brought the staff around with tremendous force. Orochimaru's body, lower half turned to a lower half of a snake as he slickered away, but Naruto already brought on the force. A massive torrent expelled from the tip that teared through several trees, destroying them within seconds. Orochimaru was now leaned up against a tree, his bottom half still a snake, as he looked at his stomach. His regeneration should handle this. He wasn't going to switch bodies again. Orochimaru then blinked in confusion. What was going on? As his stomach was not regenerating, his arm was not regrowing. He was confused. What did you do to me? He said. Well, this staff seemed to be quite special. I guess it's tampering with your abilities. So, that trick of yours, which you like to do that crawl out of your mouth, you disgusting vermin, said Naruto. I'm betting that there's a limit on that. So let's see how much more time I can destroy that body of yours before I finally kill you. Orochimaru's mouth opened wide as an arm slapped out of it. Another arm, as it was separated. As Orochimaru came out his body, brand new. His eyes now filled with rage. You should know, boy. I'm not very light in Konoha, so I have to hold back from preventing my presence being noted yet. But you've intrigued me. What do you say I give you a gift? As Orochimaru smiled at Naruto. A gift? And what's that? The same one like the Uchiha. You're already this powerful. Something to make you even more powerful. To be beyond what you are right now. What do you say? Well, you can take that gift and shove it up your old, wrinkly, snake ass, said Naruto. Why the hell do I want anything from you? You won't be speaking that way when you receive it. Orochimaru steadily shot forward, his arms lashing out as his fangs were going towards Naruto's neck. Naruto simply smiled as he twisted his hand. The staff came plummeting towards Orochimaru's skull once again. But Orochimaru was prepared this time. Snakes exploded from his mouth. A huge torrent of snakes that went towards the staff. The staff was incredibly powerful to rip right through them, but there was a large pile that tried to hold it back. Orochimaru now had enough time. Without the staff, this boy was useless. As he lashed towards Naruto, he was completely surprised that Naruto's hands became covered in that same silver chakra. As Naruto sliced it like an X, the silver flew right towards Orochimaru as it ripped into his chest. He winced out in pain as he collapsed to the ground. His chest was literally burning from the inside as he started to cough up blood violently. You think I'd want anything from you to become stronger, said Naruto. How? You're just a kid, Orochimaru said. Well, you're not going at your fullest at the moment, seeing that you're holding back, said Naruto. And that's a rather stupid thing to do against me especially, because I won't give you a second chance. Naruto shot forward as Orochimaru raised his hand and blocked the kick. Orochimaru became serious. In fact, he was indeed holding back, not to draw attention. But he might as well put this boy in his place before retreating, as he hadn't felt the Anvus coming, or his student, past student. He grabbed Naruto by the ankle and twisted him and smashed him to the ground. As Naruto's body smashed and broke the ground under the force, he lifted Naruto and smashed him into a tree. Naruto pointed his hand forward as a torrent of water shot from his palm. Orochimaru tilted his body just in time as the water ripped through stones like they were paper. As Naruto pointed his fingers as electricity burst from each finger, Orochimaru twisted and bent his body in abnormal ways as electricity scorched the ground. Orochimaru then came down as he smashed a fist in Naruto's nose, breaking it. Naruto opened his mouth as flames extended from it, burning into Orochimaru's skin as he cried out. As Naruto got free and lashed out a powerful punch to Orochimaru's stomach, forcing him to cough up blood, Naruto's entire body got coated in the silver chakra right now. The both of them shot forward and smashed their fists together, the entire forest area where they were rippling by the force. Meanwhile, inside the seal, yes, Otsutsuki Naruto said as his power was flowing wildly. The seal started to shake inside as the diamond on Naruto's left hand completely faded away as Otsutsuki Naruto power exploded out in an abnormal rage. as he smiled wickedly. On the outside, the forest became thick and dense with an abnormal amount of power, shocking everyone. "What the hell is that?" said Amoy as he turned his head. "I don't know," said Karoo. "Maybe. Is that him? This power certainly feels like what I felt that day. What is he doing?" But the Nibi wasn't answering her. "Nibi? Nibi!" Meanwhile, "Where the hell am I?" said Nibi, as she looked around, confused. "Manatabe, is that you?" She turned her head. "Krama?" As Nibi was standing there in her full form. She was in a silver dimension, nothing but silver. As Krama was there. "What's going on?" she said, looking around. "I was just inside my seal." "Me too." "Are you okay?" asked Krama. "Are you really Krama?" she asked. "What do you mean?" "Well, the Krama I know wasn't so nice. Well, I was split in half by the fourth Hokage. I guess most of that ignorance and rage went with that other half. So you're good now?" she asked. "Well, I suppose you can say that." "Huh? What the hell is this? Stupid fox? Cat?" The both of them turned the angry look on their face. "Shikaku, nice to see you," said Nibi. "Well, it's not nice to see you," said Shikaku. "What's going on?" "We have no idea." "Huh, why should I be asking you, stupid fox? You would know anything after all. Just a big, dumb, fluffy hair ball. And you're just a big, overgrown raccoon that is made from sand. You wanna go?" "Guys, calm down. You can't be thinking about fighting right now, when I'm sure all of you know why we're here. That power, you all felt it, didn't you?" "Yes. I can see now. Somehow that power is linking us, seeing that we're all in the forest. You are with that Kunoichi from Kumo, and you're with Gara. And I am with Mito Uzumaki. That boy, if I'm not mistaken, Fox, is he really him?" "Yes. When I was sealed in my previous host, Kushina Uzumaki, I had felt something strange invade her body. It felt similar to this chakra, but I shrugged it off as nothing, as my mind playing tricks on me. I was rather ignorant back then. But now, I'm not so sure. But if he's really back, what are we gonna do?" asked Shikaku, as he sounded rather worried. "I don't know," said Mantabe. "Father warned us. If he ever come back, this world as we know it would cease to exist. And us as well, since he will be after a chakra that we're made up from. To bring back that horrible beast, he would try to consume it once again. Well, Father was always telling us about this, but he was never, well, vague on the idea of explaining how do we stop him. At the moment, I've seen him. He's weak. He doesn't remember who he is." "Yes, I've seen him as well," said Kurama. "But he is still powerful, but not as he once was, not by a long shot. And if Naruto Ususuke had returned, given from what Father has told us, he would not stay in this village. He would not abide by the rules, war and chaos. And not to mention Ragnarok would already be upon us." As Nebe shot her at that, it took Father so long to stop Ragnarok himself. "Do you think that we can?" "What are you talking about? We are tail beasts. Those things are his creation. Of course we can defeat them." "Are you sure?" "Father was still stronger than all of us, and you know that," said Nibi. "And he had a hard time. After all, it was his power that made Ragnarok. And what about the others?" "Don't worry. Father had them sealed away. And at the moment they're currently still sealed away. So there's no way for him to get to them at the moment. But we still need to find a way to separate him. We still need to find a way to stop this. What do we do? Do we tell someone?" asked Shikaku. "Who are we gonna tell?" asked Nibe. "Our hosts? What are they gonna do against this boy? Even if he's weak at the moment, they still can handle his power. I sensed it. And not to mention that staff. He has it. It can negate all of our powers. Yes, I know, said Krama. But what do we do? Before any of them could say anything else, the link was cut, and all of them found themselves back in their seals. Nibi! Nibi! Huh? Kitten? What is it? Where did you go? I called you and didn't hear anything at all. Sorry. Got a bit distracted. What are we talking about? That ominous feeling, what is it? Meanwhile, Gara. Gara! Yes? Gara turned. As Temar was surprised at the expression on his face, it seemed so light and peaceful. But then he returned back to normal. What? He said. Well, you just spaced out. I'm okay, said Gara. Are we gonna check that out or what? Asked Konkru. No. That doesn't concern us, said Gara. Let's go. Gara was confused for a moment there. He stopped hurting Mother. She was just gone. And his mind was peaceful. Meanwhile, as Mito was currently under a hollow tree, as that provide good protection, as she had blocked the path with things that she found around. Sasuke was still unconscious as she placed a cloth on his head, as she was trying her best knowledge in medical ninjutsu to help him, but it wasn't enough, as she just hoped that her brother would get here soon, and that he was okay. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was shocked beyond disbelief. The kid was able to match him blow to blow with their fists. Although he still wasn't giving everything he got at the moment, this kid was surprisingly strong, powerful, something that Orochimaru yearned for. As Naruto's head was suddenly looking down. Is that it? Orochimaru asked, as a part of him was getting too excited, forgetting about his plan for Konoha, as he wanted to see the full extent of this boy. Is that all you have to show me? Naruto felt strange. He saw images, and he understood every single one of them. He saw a man in front of him, with strange purple eyes. The both of them were fighting. His body was moving on its own. That was strange. He saw him, but he was never there before, fighting this strange man with horns. And his face was blurry. Other than that, he could see the horns and the purple eyes. Naruto looked down as he saw the diamond in his right hand. It was gone. The left one was still there. He felt something shaking terribly inside his stomach. Power. Yes. We will soon be one once again. You are not weak, even though you're not complete. Remind this world, remind this disgusted sneak, that you are on top. You are the alpha male. You are a god. Show these pitiful humans that you're nothing but garbage. As Naruto heard something whisper in his ear, those exact same words. As his eyes opened up, Orochimaru was startled when he saw the eyes. A three-toed Sharingan looking at him. How? But this shouldn't be possible. The kid wasn't a Uchiha. How was that even possible? What is going on? What are you? Orochimaru said. The kid was an anomaly from what Orochimaru seen so far. I am your executioner, said Naruto. As he stepped forward only to drop to the ground in pain, holding on to his head, information started to rush through his mind. Information just pumping in it. He saw himself using abilities, speaking to Mother. What the hell was going on? Images, memories. As Naruto screamed out in pain and agony, as the diamond on his left hand started to tremble, as a small crack came on the top. As Naruto started to scream, his entire body got shrouded in that silver chakra once again, as it started to tear waves around the forest. Meanwhile, Anko was moving as fast as possible, as the Onbus had already set out to find Orochimaru as he was here. She felt an overwhelming amount of power being descended on the area. But this was not her snake. This was not the snake that she wanted to kill. What was this? Meanwhile, Naruto was in pain as he saw himself calling meteors from the sky, destroying grounds, killing, slaughtering. There was a history of Naruto's past, Osusuke Naruto. The reason why things escalated so far, that most people would never notice this day because the humans that were around were slaughtered. When Naruto found out that Hagoromo wanted to give humans the ability and teach them how to use chakra, Naruto went angry to the point where he went to a neighboring village and slaughtered every single human. That pushed Hagoromo and Hamura over to the edge. And that is how the battle started. When Naruto was going to leave and slaughter another village, it was then that Hagoromo had placed a hand on his shoulder to stop him, and they started to fight. As Naruto saw himself using amazing powers, as he heard himself called out to Ragnarok, he then turned to see what that was. But at that moment, Orochimaru wrapped his snake body around Naruto, as he sank his fangs into Naruto's neck. As Naruto's head dropped forward, the diamond stopped cracking in his left hand. Orochimaru kept a tight hold on Naruto. Meanwhile, the enzyme of the cursed seal, Orochimaru placed a piece of his soul inside every cursed mark, as the user had to, well, suppress and be bent to his will. The enzyme of the cursed seal, the piece of Orochimaru's soul, was surprised when it found itself in a clear field. It was violently smashed in the ground face way. The sky darkened, thundering, as lightning crackled dangerously. Thunder split with a deafening sound. The earth trembled. Lakes water rise, smashing onto the surface. Orochimaru was confused where he was, as he looked around in pure shock. The real Orochimaru found himself witnessing this as well. It was like he was watching a show, as his piece of soul that was currently floating in Naruto's body was experiencing 100%. It was then he saw it, a tower. On top of that tower was a throne. A man was sitting there, his white hair resting behind him, his hand resting on his chin, his head leaned. Who are you? Orochimaru said. Don't you speak to me, you disgusting vermin. I always hated humans, but you're a different case entirely. You're like a deformed, twisted thing that's trying to become stronger, but failing to make yourself perfect by turning to whatever you are. And I can see it. Orochimaru was shocked when he saw the eyes. Strange rubber pattern eyes. Just like the leader of the Akatsuki. But those were red. But they had 9 Megatama of the Sharingan in each of them. Who are you? Orochimaru said as he felt his body shaking uncontrollably. His hand started to bind. The soul fragment that was in the air was smashed in the ground once again. Know your place, disgusting worm. In the real world, Orochimaru was thrown back with such force that he was sent sailing, as the cursed seal that, well, tried to form around Naruto's neck was just burned away. Anko was making her way as fast as possible, going towards where she senses abnormal power, when something shot by her vision. Anko caught sight of the thing barely, but it was him. Anko rushed towards it was none other than Orochimaru. She pulled a kunai. Orochimaru slammed through several trees before finally coming to a stop. His 2 arms twisted abnormally. His head bent strangely, his legs twisted. As he coughed up blood, his mouth opened wide as another Orochimaru crawled out of it, coughing up blood already. Anko wasted no time as she descended down towards him. He turned as snake shot from his sleeve. As Anko sliced through them, but that gave him enough time to jump backwards as he landed. Ah, Anko. So, you found me. Orochimaru, she said. You don't know how long I've waited for this moment. I don't know what happened to you, but you seem to be in a bad shape. And I'm gonna make sure you don't leave here alive. I'm sorry, Anko, but I'm afraid this little reunion of us will have to wait. I have more pressing matters to be with. And, quite frankly, you're not that important anymore. With that, he melted away with the earth as Anko rushed forward. But he was already gone. Damn it, she cursed, as she tried to find him, but nowhere. Meanwhile, Naruto was currently on the ground. His entire body was in pain. If he was to be found at the moment, he could be taken advantage of by any one of these disgusting humans. Naruto stopped himself. Why did he say that? It just came out. He was confused. As he got to his feet, Shakijo, come. As his staff came in his hand, yet again he blinked. Shakijo? Why, he always called it staff. Where did that word came from in his mind? As Naruto tapped himself down, confused, something was really going on, and he had a headache from all that information. He never received these attacks so fluently before. He always received them one by one, but he received a ton of attacks a minute ago. And not to mention, what the hell is Ragnarok? As that popped up in his mind, as he looked at his hand, he remembered himself saying it. And I will name you Ragnarok. And those purple eyes, what the hell were they? As Naruto's head winced once again, as he lowered his head to the ground, not noticing his eyes. A glimmer of red could be seen before he closed them. He looked at the diamond in his left palm, as there was a small crack on it, but the crack seemed to be receding over, like it was being fixed. Meanwhile, Otsutsuki Naruto stood there. His power didn't lash out in the way that he wanted to break through the last seal. To break through and finally reunite, and become one, and finally get the hell out of here. But he did manage to get a lot more through. It's only a matter of time now. And when you get out of here, he will make sure to hunt and kill that snake, that disgusting vermin, trying to take control of his body. It doesn't matter where he hides or where he goes, nothing in this world can hide from him. He's a god after all. And when this god finally awake after years of slumber, the entire world would know his name. The entire world would tremble and shake in fear when Otsutsuki Naruto arrived back to reality. Back in the real world, Naruto coughed as he got to his feet. His body felt tender, not weak, but tender, like from the inside out. As he made his way, he could barely control his chakra at the moment. It felt wild and uncontrollable, like it was steadying itself, but it was rushing at the moment. So at the moment he was completely helpless to fight. He couldn't even mold his chakra properly. Fluctuation of memories and chakra flooding into his body was really hurting him. But he had to keep going on. He closed his eyes though, as he focused. As he snapped his eyes back open, activated his Byakugan with pure will, not noticing the change. But this time he could see chakra, residue of chakra on the ground. Not like before, but with more detail and precision. As he followed it, searching for Mito. Wherever Orochimaru went, he wasn't going after him. He can deal with him another day. As he followed the chakra trail and made his way. Meanwhile, 3 smiling faces looking down to where Mito was. This was none other than Dosu, Kin, and Zaku. They had their mission. They didn't know that their mission was going to, well, turn into something that they would never expect. But they had their mission. It was to find and attack and kill the Uchiha. Orochimaru gave them that target. And they will complete it no matter what. As the 3 of them looked down, what do you say we ruffle her up a bit? Said Zaku. It was that same bitch that tried to stop us when we were doing the thing with Kabuto. As Kin smirked, I'll be the first one to test her. As she fired off needles with bells. The bells started to ring. Mito's head snapped up as she looked around. For some reason she couldn't tell left from right, or up from down. She was confused, as she felt like she wanted to puke and hurl. What the hell was going on? Her body moved on instinct though, as a kunai planted where her feet was, as she turned towards the entrance. Come out, wherever you are, said a voice, a feminine voice. I love playing this game. Cat chasing the mouse. How long are you gonna stay in there? Mito looked over towards Sasuke as she created a clone. It's a genjutsu, be careful. They're trying to throw off your sense of direction. I know, thanks, she said. As she sent out her chakra in a ripple form around her body. As the thing expelled the genjutsu from around her. But she couldn't afford to just be blasting off chakra like this, even though she is a Jinchuriki. As she made her way outside, Kin shrugged. Well, that doesn't matter. Let's see you dodge this, as Kin pulled out 3 senbons and threw them towards Mito. Mito blocked the 3 of them with one chain. Look, I don't know who the hell you are, but at the moment, I don't want to fight you, so I suggest you leave. Kin started to laugh. Do you think this is all fun and games? Like you can tell someone when to leave when you want? It seems like you don't understand Ninja World, girl. No, I do understand Ninja World. At the moment, I'm telling you, if you attack me, I'll hurt you. Mito wasn't one to always get serious, but at the moment she was in the mood to play around with anyone. Sasuke was hurt. She didn't know where her brother was or if he was okay, and she was pissed as her eyes became red. Leave, she said. Kin was really underestimating her as Kin pulled 3 kunais and threw them towards Mito. Mito was gone that instant. Kin blinked. Zaku appeared behind Kin and fired off a massive ear burst as it slammed Mito out of the air as she smashed in the earth. What the hell? Kin looked behind her. Damn, she's fast. But I caught her, said Zaku. Not quite. Zaku turned as a fist smashed into his jaw, breaking through his teeth as he was sent sailing as he smashed into the earth. Kin looked up in shock as she looked back down to see the clone poofed away as Mito had created another clone before stepping out. I already told you to leave. Leave. That's the only other warning you're gonna get. Mito then had to dot the gauntlet. The moment she dot though, her entire world fell off balance and she fell off the tree and crashed down to the ground. She had dropped the chakra floor around her after Genjutsu was gone, and those two just caught her. As he smiled, seeing his technique work again. After all, it didn't work on that other red head. As Mito touched her ears as blood was coming from them. As Kin rushed forward, I'll finish her as she had a kunai in her hand. Konoha Senpyu! Lee smashed into Kin, knocking her away as she crashed to the ground. As he landed, I'm afraid I can't let you hurt, Mito-san. As he raised up his hand, ready to fight. Mito got to her feet. As she looked at Lee. Thanks, Lee, she said. You don't need to thank me. It was my duty to protect you. Someone as lovely as yourself should not be hassled like this by 3 of them. As he raised his hand towards Dosu. Mito cracked her neck as she shook her body off. The Kyuubi power was already healing her ears. Dosu was confused. How the hell are you still standing? Let's just say I'm different from others, she said. As she lashed out her chains from the ground, Dosu was shocked as he suddenly burst right in front of him. He didn't have time as he wrapped around the gauntlet in his arms and started to squeeze. Snap! The gauntlets exploded because of the pressure. Mito then pulled the chains from the ground and yanked it forward as she went through hand sign. The moment her hand made contact with his chest, a massive burst of air exploded from it. As she released her chains as those two were sent sailing, crashing off into the distance. As Lee smiled, as he could see that Mito was indeed a worthy opponent. Double ear destruction wave! The both of them turned to be met by a massive wave of air. Mito quickly raised her chains as a wave of air smashed into it, blowing everything else away from them, destroying everything around. When Mito finally dropped the chains, Zaku was shocked. They were fine. What the hell? As he was confused, he never knew that this girl was so strong. But before any of them could do anything else, an ominous feeling filled the area. While this was going on, as Team Pen was there watching, it seems like our party is winning. Let's show ourselves, said Ino. No, not yet, said Shikamaru. What's wrong, she asked. Just give it a few more moments, he said to her. Sasuke then made his way out of the hollow tree. Sasuke, said Mito. Are you alright? Dosu was crawling back where he came from. His hands dropped to his side. Blood was all over the bandage on his mouth, as he had really taken a nasty hit, as Kane was back to her feet. As Sasuke smiled. His smile was rather dark and wicked. This power, whatever it is, it's wonderful, he said. I told you I made a promise, and I wouldn't break it. Mito's eyes quickly widened when she heard the voice. As she turned, she lashed herself out and jumped right on top of him and hugged him. Big brother, she said. You're okay, as she hugged him tight. Of course I am, said Naruto, as his chakra had managed to restrain itself on his walk here. I told you I'll be fine. She stepped back. Your eyes. You, Sasuke said. Always trying to one-up me, aren't you? And now this. What are you talking about, said Naruto. You always think that you're the stronger one. Well, let me show you that you're not. Sasuke shot forward. Sasuke, what are you doing, said Mito? As she wasn't going to attack Sasuke because he wouldn't hurt her, right? But Sasuke pushed her out of the way as he came to attack Naruto with a brutal fist towards his face. But Naruto simply grabbed his fist and held it inches away from his face. I don't know what's wrong with you, Uchiha, but you need to... The both of them heads snapped to the sky as Naruto's silver chakra lashed onto Sasuke's neck. The both of them stood there. Kin used the opportunity as she threw a kunai straight towards Mito. As Shikamaru and his group saw that, seeing that Lee and the others were focused on what was happening, as it was blocked by a kunai. Ino, said Mito as she looked forward. As Ino smiled, I have your back. Shikamaru sighed, well, we might as well show ourselves, he said, as he got up from the bushes and showed it as well. You guys are here as well, she said, as she smiled. She looked over at the others. Well, I guess you're outman and outgunned at the moment. Do you think you can win same way? Those two, Zaku and Kin, looked at each other as they realized that the Uchiha had the curse mark. Those who gave him a signal as they all flashed away running for their life. As Lee looked at them, it's alright Lee, let them go, said Mito. They're not a problem to us now. Lee nodded and turned his head back towards the Uchiha and Naruto. Meanwhile, Orochimaru's soul fragment once again found itself. As Osusuke Naruto sighed, once again you show your face in front of me. This time, I'm gonna make it my priority to kill you once I'm done. Who are you? Orochimaru said. What? Where the hell am I? As he looked up, but Osusuke Naruto was gone. No, this time he was right in front of him. He was grabbed by the throat violently. I hate seeing despicable humans like you. As he was squeezed, Osusuke Naruto put his two fingers right in Orochimaru's skull and pumped power into him, allowing his body to explode. Outside, both Naruto and Sasuke were thrown away violently as Osusuke Naruto had overpowered the balance and destroyed Orochimaru's soul fragment. But it did something different than what any of them expected. Sasuke was currently rubbing his neck in confusion. That rage had vanished away. The mark was still there, but it wasn't black anymore, it was silver. Sasuke felt the power, but he had his mind under control. Are you guys okay? Asked Mito as she stepped forward. Yeah, Sasuke said. As Mito punched him over the head. What the hell? He said. Why did you attack my brother and me? I know that you guys love to mess around, but this is not the time for it. I don't know. It's because of that seal, said Naruto. Sasuke turned his head as he touched his neck. Well, it seems somehow I fixed it. Tell me, Uchiha, are you angry? Well, I'm always angry, Sasuke said. At you, especially. No, not that. At everything around you. Do you feel the need to get power and go ahead and achieve it the wrong way? What are you talking about? Sasuke said. Naruto pointed his staff towards Sasuke. If I said I was going to attack you right now, what would you do? I'd fight you back, of course, Sasuke said, in his usual arrogant tone. He's okay now. He is? Mito came over. And she punched him over the head once again. Ow, said Sasuke. Next time, get your damn head on straight and don't attack your friends. Sasuke rubbed his head as he got to his feet, as Naruto looked at the mark on his neck before Mito jumped and hugged the both of them. I'm so happy that you guys are okay. As Sasuke looked at her with a smile. I told you everything would be fine, said Naruto. Sasuke didn't know what this new power meant or what was exactly going on, but he then looked at Naruto's eyes. What the hell is going on with your eyes? He asked. And why do you have that? What the hell are you talking about? Said Naruto. Mito quickly made her way to the tree as she reached into her pouch, as she pulled out a small mirror, as she showed it to Naruto. What the hell? Naruto was confused, as his Sharingan was... Wait, Sharingan? As Naruto blinked in confusion, the veins were at the side of his eyes, but The Byakugan was activated, but inside, he had a pupil. But it was no normal pupil, it was a Sharingan. A three-totem Sharingan looking back at him. What the hell did you do? Asked Sasuke, confused and kind of annoyed. How the hell did Naruto have the Sharingan? Let me guess. You don't know. Right indeed, said Naruto. What happened to you in that fight with Orochimaru? Wait, Orochimaru? Like the missing name Orochimaru? Said Shikamaru. You guys fought him? Where is he? I hope he's not around here anymore, said Choji. He's long gone. I sent him packing, said Naruto. Shikamaru blinked. Huh. Wait, you're telling me that you sent Orochimaru running away? You're joking, right? No. As Naruto looked at him. I sent him packing. I don't think he'll be back for anytime soon now. He's joking, right? Said Shikamaru as he looked towards Mito and Sasuke. The both of them gave him a blank look, like this seemed normal to them. Orochimaru the Sani, said Shikamaru, breaking composure. He sighed. Huh. You are really troublesome, he said. No, I stand perfectly firm with what I said, if you and I were to fight. What did you say? Let me guess, said Ino. He would give up, right, Naruto-kun? Yeah, said Naruto. Well, it's just because he's not as strong as you, said Ino as she came over, as she wrapped her arm around Naruto's. Well, you're not that strong either. Ino deflated at that, causing Choji to laugh. And why are you laughing? Well, it's funny. Ino was about to curse at him when Naruto looked up. You know, watching while your teammate is in a fight is rather, well, strange. Even I would have intervened to save the Uchiha, but you're different, aren't you? As they wondered who he was talking to, until they saw someone jumping down from bushes. And why should I have intervened, said Neji. What if he had gotten hurt, said Naruto. It's quite alright, Naruto-san, said Lee, as he looked over at Neji. He was about to say something until Lee, Neji, as Tenten landed. There you guys are. What's going on? As she looked at Naruto and looked at the others, as she wondered, were they gonna fight each other for their scrolls? Nothing. Lee, let's go, said Neji. We have wasted enough time here already. As Neji narrowed his eyes, but he did not say anything. As Lee bid them farewell, and with that they headed off. Shikamaru sighed. Well, do you guys already have your scroll? Asked Shikamaru. Yeah, said Naruto. What about you? Asked Mito. Well, we already got ours, said Choji. So, do you guys want to head to the tower? Sure, said Mito, so we can watch each other back. As Sasuke came up to Naruto. Those eyes of yours, what can they see? My eyes? Yeah. Have you not seen that you just awakened the Sharingan? Awaken? But how, said Naruto. How the hell am I supposed to know? Asked Sasuke. I should be the one asking you that question. And how the hell am I supposed to know? Said Naruto. Do you see me holding a Sharingan manual or something? Sasuke sighed. We need to ask someone about this, because I know for a certainty that you're not a Uchiha. You didn't steal them, did you? Steal them? Oh, yes, I did. I hunted down Itachi and stole them. As Sasuke growled at the name. Yeah, ask stupid question. You're gonna get stupid answers, said Naruto. And besides, you're the only other Uchiha here in Konoha. So who did I steal them from? Kakashi? You know, talking to you is really giving me a headache. But we were— Shut up, said Naruto. As he looked at Sasuke. If you keep on speaking, I'm gonna smack you. Sasuke growled back at him. And you think that you're gonna— As the group started to walk off. Smack! Meanwhile, a pair of Rinnegan eyes opened up. But these did not belong to anyone in this world at the moment. This person was an observer. Someone who could just witness the world from one specific area. There needs to be all union between everything that created the power nature in this world for this person to be able to see the world. But his eyes finally opened after so long, after feeling that surge of power that he thought would be impossible to ever reform this earth. This was bad. Really, really bad. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see this part, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.